Trade recap today. We lost two trades actually. I'll talk about this. The only reason I took the second trade was because I was feeling fine. I was just confident. I was like, alright, let's do it. Whatever happens, it's calm. And then I did get stopped. But good learning from today. So overall, it was just completely bearish. There was hourly fair value gap above, which I knew was not going to get tapped, and on ES it had nearly gotten to halfway of it, but I knew it was not getting tapped in our session, potentially in New York, which is coming up. But near open price swept some 4-hour lows and hourly lows, and we were trying to go in long off that shit down here, right? Then we had some order blocks as targets. They don't really matter for right now, so let's just get rid of them. 6 p.m. open. So we were watching, and there was this sweep here and then sweep here, and they both had good price action, and this was pre-market, like before the open, so I was keen as sweeps in versus a 5, in versus 5, break a structure, you know, classic shit. Good price action the whole way up. Boom. And then 5-minute fair value gap here, 5-minute fair value gap here, and then price comes into a 1-minute fair value gap here, and we wanted to get in because we thought that I don't know, it was just kind of a lapse of judgment. We were saying like, oh, price might just fucking run, but that's just FOMO. Like, that was actually FOMO hitting us. And then of course it taps it halfway and respects it perfectly. Get in, stopped out. And then we were like, okay, we'll get in if it comes, respects this 5-minute down here, and then respects the following 1 minute, which will be created out of it, because that's what we've seen. And it respects the 5-minute as ES taps halfway of it perfectly. Good price action for the move away, creating a 1 minute, respects 1 minute to the halfway, and then just stops us out. Now, instantly, our bias for the day was bearish, just by the way, and we were trying to go long. So first off, our issue was it's hard, because first off, we should have waited for the furthermost fair value gap, like the furthest one away, because that's what we always wait for. Like, so that's first lesson, okay? We're always going to wait for the furthest fair value gap away. But when the furthest fair value gap away, like on the 5-minute I'm talking about, this one here, it gets inversed and then price is bearish. So how do we get in the short position? Well, price is bearish off of a couple of things. Off of this sweep with this liquidity made just before open here on both candles, and then on ES, a diverging pair. Divergence, sorry. Boom, divergence. And then from that, price comes down. It does not inverse this 5-minute fair value gap straight away. As you can see, it initially respects it, but this respect is something we see often. It's just for price to push itself in the other direction of a sweep to get back towards the sweeping area to feel more imbalanced to run the other way. But because we were looking for longs, it showed us that, oh, price might be bullish. So that one fucked us up big time. Like, that was really like specific, you know. The way we get in short here and actually do is we go with bias. And I was saying to my bro, like, when there's really good price action like this, it will end up sweeping in bias's direction. Especially when price sweeps this bottom side and we're bearish, it pushes itself up to grab these sweeps and create a topside divergence just to get lower. And because it pushes itself so quickly, not giving us many opportunities to get in long, that shows that it wants to come short, and that this is just a move to get to liquidity and sweep, and it's not a move to get in on and run with. And as you can see, for the bearish move, divergence, and then as I said, it doesn't inverse this 5, but as it respects it, we get the breaker structure, which is like, if we get the breaker structure before it inverses, that's normally a good sign that it's sweeping, because we have the bias, we have divergence, and then this respect, but it's just to get back into this 5-minute fair value gap here, which it then respects bearish, right? It then respects that bearish, pushing past this fair value gap that was initially respected, which is a good sign the price is then bearish when this happens. We've talked about this a multitude of times, right? Then scale down to the 1 minute, because you have the breaker structure, respect, then the bearish move. And if you were like pretty dialed in, you get the short off of this fair value gap being filled. Oh, where is it? This fair value gap being filled, or it's fucking tiny. Fuck you. I think the corresponding one is, yeah, this one. As you can see on ES, it gets filled very nicely, and ES is the sweeping pair, so it is much cleaner. And then again, as you can see, this is the fair value gap actually created on the 1 minute after price inverses this larger 5-minute fair value gap that it initially respected. And then to get in short off of that, you'd obviously have to wait for the inverse, and then it retraces, get in on that shit, and then short off the respect, stops, close high, and you'd be shooting for maybe the order block, or for the order block down here, for the retap of that, whatever, something like that. But obviously I want to get in on NAS, and so it's like, it's just not as clean as ES, because ES is the sweeping pair, and we've talked about this a couple of days back. Because ES is the sweeping pair, it's much cleaner. So yeah, a couple of things to learn from today. Trade with the bias. And then of course, also this thing here, this initial respect and then re-inverse of the fair value gap. Then, so there's that, and also diverging pair, whichever one sweeps will obviously be much cleaner, even though both of them had good signs for shorts. So if we get rid of this shit, oh fuck. So yeah, because, and also because we should be looking in direction of buys first off, obviously, but also when price runs so quickly like that without giving us an entry point, it's a good sign that it's moving itself somewhere to sweep and then move in the direction of bias, right? And then yeah, so this was a hard position. It's kind of understandable how we got caught out long, but we wouldn't have been caught out long if we waited for the furthest fair value gap to be respected, right? But of course it would have been inversed, which then we would have been like, oh, okay, so it's bearish now, and obviously thank God we didn't get in bullish, but we would have missed the opportunity, which then you'd have to get this retracement back into here. But then again, this retracement back into here is kind of a bit sussy, because price has already made its move. Like, it's made its moves, touched an order block. From that, I would be like, not really trying to get in, especially with this much weaker price action here. Like, god, that's like, I'd be in short off of this candle, which is 647. 647. Okay, so that'd be, yeah, that'd be after the close of this 5 minute, which is a really good sign that, because after the close of this 5 minute candle right here, the 45 candle, we already have seen we have the sweep divergence, we have the breaker structure, and if we were thinking of longs, at this point we see that this fair value gap was initially respected and now it is being moved through again, which is a good sign that it's being inversed, it's being invalidated, inversed, disrespected, whatever. It's being moved through, and so, and we're in direction of bias. Let's get in short off of the 1 minute. Yeah, because it comes away at 45. Just want to make sure this is the right candle, and we would actually get in short. It closes here. Yes, you know, that's not it. That candle is way back, so it'd be the 40 candle. It's a bit sussier, but if you were really with the bearish direction, you'd be good for that. And then of course you have this retracement here, but that's weaker price action. So yeah, it was like a good day but a harder day. Like, it was a bit confusing, but it makes sense. So obviously the diverging pair again is cleaner, whichever one sweeps. Not the diverging pair, sorry, the sweeping pair of a divergence. And then again, fair value gaps being 5 minute fair value gaps being respected, and then inverse very closely after is a good sign that it will just inverse and move that direction after a sweep. And then also moving with the bias and only getting in off of the furthest fair value gaps. That's it, like the closest ones to the sweeping point. So let's see if that would be valid here. Yep, no fair value gap, tiny one here, gets moved on anyways. These are the closest fair value gaps to the sweeping point, so it makes sense. It's very logical. Okay, it's good. We're dialed, all good.